walang buhay expectations. Uh, and overall as well, I said I'm going to share some about how to build a solid business always that. I'm going to call these series of lives a Meantime Academy, but you know what what I'm doing here. In this episode of Meantime Academy, I want to talk about becoming a business and becoming just incorporate a business model that is one. So I'm going to hopefully speak in very plain terms. Please ask questions to get in chat. If needed, where a my whole apologies started to my daughter that didn't fit on this. So yeah, sometimes and anyhow, the reason why you would create a business is if you want to separate more revenue from your savings, things like that, from your different activities. If you want to start employing people, to make confidence for on. So you're basically putting all the risk of the business into this bigger fantasy. Let's say something here. When you don't do that and you start with business, you provide advice, you start coaching on the doing this, you're doing it as a private person, which means that your savings, your livelihood, everything is up from the ups when you're not saving activities to keep that. But many times, especially on Substack, nobody wants to think, okay, first thing I'm going to do when I start my Substack and incorporate a company, it's lengthy, can be very critical, it involves a lot of things, so you might not want to start with that. So the thing that I advise people to do when they're kind of in between, they're thinking of doing a side hustle, but they're not super committed to it yet, is to make sure that whatever you do is protected by yes, law, terms and conditions. The reason for that is because in the terms and conditions, you can say that the max liability you're willing to take in the contract is X amount or X amount multiplied by something else. Of course, there's laws out there that we cannot exclude via an agreement, but the more we regulate by our terms and conditions, the less we stand to lose if there's an issue. So if your Substack is travel log where you're just explaining once, if your Substack is a literature collection of speculative reviews, if your Substack is just talking about the state of the world and things like that, and you don't provide any advice, you might not need to. But if you're a coach, like I know, if you're providing work, if you're talking about investments, about real estate, about how to make enough investments, if you provide either wellness or medical advice, if you um, advertise certain products or person products with the things you do, if you provide downloads and workbooks and courses and things like that, you really be excited to teach kids. Without them, you're uncovered, and it takes only one person to misunderstand what you're saying or apply it wrong because you're giving general advice as well as you can put it, but there can always be the interpretations. The thing about successful communication is this: it's not about what you say, but what people understand you say. And with different backgrounds, different language, about what's different attention span and all these things. People can understand different things from what you say. And you don't want us to be at risk. Being on shoes, being in a class with a subscriber that you're trying to tell genuinely because something went wrong. That's where your terms and conditions come into play. So you don't need to create a business that might be very bureaucratic to do and maybe also expensive. You need to have an amount of money to open a business and put it there as capital for that business. Then you need to know how to take care of the accounting, reporting the fee, manage that with your personal income, etc. So it can get complicated. I chose to create my own business because I have many different lines of business that I do. I consult IT companies and help them with the finance. contracts, can do the coaching, and life coaching, career coaching, business coaching, and I'm going to Substack thing where I'm gonna selling Substack terms and conditions that you can adapt to who you are and what you do on Substack, but then on your website it's going to be lot of fitness having similar terms and conditions. Another so that's kind of the conclusion of today's video. I don't want it to become something where I'm trying to sell, but just inform you. You don't need to create a business, but in terms, if you provide some sort of advice and you give people some sort of indications of how they treat that, and then they take you up on that advice, you might be reliable on the certificates and attributes. It's really good to have some solutions that if you're kind of person and you haven't failed in one instance. And especially if you're a business, you still need those terms and conditions. And the reason for that is the terms and conditions are basically like boundaries that you create with finance, investing, subscribers, leaders, casual readers, followers, when teams join your live and listen to what they're saying. So for that, having terms and conditions, everything that I think here, is that I like terms and conditions, and then you following this advice, it is something that's really also digest through your own knowledge of the context, chat with a lawyer about your situation, and not to force us definitely put out answers for everything. But what I'm saying comes from experiences taking us working with businesses and supporting businesses to grow and that. Attach things down to its basic stuff. It will be any lawyer will agree you need a contact with the providing service and either as a personal as the person's support and as a company, because otherwise laws will apply the way they're set up. We have to expose it to more risk than it might be worth in the case technology. So if you're I'm speaking here for free, I have very few subscribers at this moment. I'm giving you this advice. If someone comes now and they don't have terms, I have certain conditions, but let's say no. And continue my advice and they open a business and it's much higher rating, all their savings for the corporation, and then nothing works out, they don't make any profit and whatever, and then they come back to me and say, you said I should open a business and then I lost all the money. I would basically be possibly liable at least to pay on one or two this claims when the company gets anything in return. That person's going to be angry, just burn a lot. This is what I said, and it should be made to fund more than I'm going to pay the advice if it's for them. So that's why I'm saying you never know what people can understand. But once you're saying, so it's really good to have the chance to either private incorporate the company that have those information and manage all the risks within the little box that you're doing. If it's too complicated, you have that facility options in the kitchens. And in a previous live, I did was proceed as I was talking about similar things. And also some similar out insurance. Or someone the child insurance, if you have personal liability insurance, you can cover that. And in a way you can, but and I'm not an insurance expert, so don't take this literally. That means you have to get into specialist insurance agents or brokers. And the thing about insurance book, how I understand it and supporting businesses and hearing a little bit what the insurance side of it is also is that it's an unrecognized in a country that insurance that is for. So you can have an insurance for you and you can have an insurance for the animals and just like that. But also having like six cycles go everywhere. And what do? Are you gonna take out insurance in every country? And that insurance has limitations and doesn't include certain things in that insurance. So relying on insurance is costly, it's time-consuming, it's expensive, it's a pain, and you need to prove that you had a loss, you get the money from that, you know, the cost increase, it doesn't make sense. It's the first step of a person just starting on Substack to create some deep content to try to get things accepted forward. It makes sense. It's really easy to do. You don't need to constantly work on updating it or whatever. It's create your terms about the things you're doing. And you have a little statement of what you're building. So you don't need to create a business. You like want to just to kind of really protect and incorporate everything that you're doing within a very defined structure. You could take your personal statement, your personal network to use, house, art, things like that. But it's not needed necessarily from the very beginning for what really is it. And I'm sorry to be a broken record on this, but it's so important. And I feel like it's my duty to say this because I'm looking at Substackers, looking at their websites, and they're providing incredible advice, working so hard to create each articles, videos, everything. But when they limit their terms out to Substack, in Substack, speak about the relationship between me and the creator and user of the platform on Substack. It doesn't speak about the relationship between me and the subscribers. It does that intentionally because we cannot get what you can do, what is the exciting part, or your subscribers, your readers, the people that interact with you. It's your job, it's your duty. So if you're a copyist and you're writing a book, you're writing a novel, there's copyright protection in the collection of the works of Substack to protections. And if you're a provider of services, you're teaching people something, you're giving them free ads or sides, affiliates, you need to please a safety for yourself. But then it's series called Time Academy. I don't know if it's going to be daily, but what I'm trying to do is have short live sessions that then I post also as recorded content. So you can download, and there's also going to be descriptions and links and things like that. To create a bit more clarity about how you can think about yourself as a business, how to protect yourself from risk, and then start little by little finding tools and things like that. I'm reading listening to this podcast today from the diary of a CEO has 3 experts on talking about AI in the middle of AI and how so many jobs are likely to disappear in a very short amount of time by the end of this decade, which means we need to be super proactive about what we're doing next. Relying on a job is not as smart as it needs to be depending on your capability to give all whatever you do to your job. Diversifying your portfolio, your skills, creating side hustle. These are things that can turn out to be huge savings for you and something that you didn't have the luxury to create so easily, so accessibly a few years ago. Substacks when more than anything it is sedentary. So it is that's hard to think about and think how your career can expand into a portfolio career with still do you have the people on Substack, people on LinkedIn, the people around Zone will benefit from and try to create those services, share your knowledge in a way that helps people and also creates an instead income for you so that if there's, God forbid, a layoff or your job doesn't exist anymore because now AI is doing it and it's obviously doing it. And just to kind of explain how close this is. I don't know where my main area of expertise is contract. And when I first started, everything was manual and then moved it forward and I had to make every change. When I left the IT world, AI could do the negotiation for me. So my job was disappearing. I am on Substack and LinkedIn and on this platform sharing knowledge. One, because I think it's super helpful for people around the world. And the tools that are there to create systems, bringing that are super expensive at this moment, or worth it. That is two. And two, because my job is probably did not exist in 5 years' time. Or if it's it would be if you need, for say, 3 people in a team to manage the contracting and help with sales and all the situations that need to happen. Maybe now you need a part-time lawyer to manage the systems that we use. That's kind of the shift that's happening. So concentration for jobs is going to be so big that it's instead of forwards, not just saying about finding me, or something else you can do that's more connecting with people, helping people, interacting with people, because that's going to be more difficult for the studies, especially in the short studies. So I'm sorry, Jeremy, saying this is pessimistic way, but I was inspired by the podcast that I was looking for earlier. And it's true. We don't know exactly how the future will be, but I feel like if you listen to any type of expert that tries to guess what the future brings, um, bunch of them for bringing on the jobs, both the stars, the gold, the students, or even 6 year, for that. And that's the thing that being present, connecting with people, knowing what's coming on, always developing yourself, and that one learning something that is Substack, learning about tools that you can use, how to harness the AI to become more productive, which other people how to do it, upload videos, anything you need to do in order to have a successful Substance. And we will start on top, permanent visions for maybe subscribers and our office hours, as I call them, where you can talk to me directly one-on-one and ask me questions. So that's it for now. If you've joined in the meantime, maybe coming across the whole video from the beginning, I will get to the recording to them, edit and post it in the next few days. And yes, I do funnel these through send out some a text, like I just played with it. It's an ad on your Substack, but these days are explaining that what you're saying here with the advice and it's actually just follow up information that I wanted to do. That's what I'm doing, and know that's the best thing to have. But so with this said, I hope you have a lovely day. It is something that recording it on websites, something that no one does up to date. And don't includes in such food. So, what is in the recording of the live, I think yesterday on the same topic, it's about the success terms, and the nomination libraries, we got companies there, that we put in the also the sphere, so you use that the words, if it logs, and the ask the question there, so then it's not I'm going to be on slide. And, address the questions you actually have about you super cool and you get more interactive. And I would love to speak about things that really inspiring about and instead of try to change what would be helpful for you. So I'm also going to have a great day. Take care of your words. Bye bye.